Hello, my name is Dale Wilhite. I live in Mountain Village, Colorado. And this concept is called the roving judge. A roving judge is a judge who uh, doesn't sit behind a bench, let's say. This is a judge that has his own cruiser. And when police ask for a search warrant uh, after a crime has been committed or they suspect a crime has been committed, he or she will go out to the scene and evaluate what has happened and determine there whether a warrant is to be issued or not. Now, this would happen in the late night hours when most judges are home in bed. And this concept, the way I have it set up, would work a lot better and a lot faster because then police don't have to sit and wait to, for someone to go get a warrant from a judge who may be asleep somewhere, maybe home asleep. Then they have to get it from him or her. This makes it possible for a judge to be on the scene of a crime or possible crime and to evaluate whether a warrant is really necessary or not. And these judges, he may go or she may go to one crime scene, the next thing you know, police over in another part of the city needs a warrant, so he or she will head over there. But it gives a judge visual, the ability to visually see what's happening. Sometimes judges are asked to just take the words of a law enforcement officer and they sign away or they don't. And most law enforcement officers are honest people. But there are some that are not. That's why these judges need to be at the scene of the crime or a possible crime or alleged crime. If they could do that, then it would, to me, it would be a lot better than for them to sign a warrant from their after half asleep from their house. And they don't really know what's going on. This, to me, is a better idea, and I think our judicial system would be a lot more sound, maybe not a lot more, but maybe a little bit more sound, if we had judges that went from one place to the next. When called or when asked to issue a warrant or sign a warrant, the police will issue the warrant, and of course the judge would sign it if he or she believes it's, necessary. But this is what I believe would help our judicial system a lot. And I think we would get warrants signed a lot faster if judges were able to see. That means go to the scene of a crime or alleged crime right after the police get there and need a warrant. Sometimes this could save a life because sometimes police can't really go into a building, let's say hear screams or something, and they're in a situation where they got to wait for a warrant before they can enter the building to see if someone might be dead, to see if someone might be injured. There are certain circumstances where they can go in anyway, but not always. We need a lot of roving judges in this country that can come to the scene right after the police do. And if the police say, well, we really need this warrant now so we can go in, that judge can sign it right away if he or she believes it's they have probable cause. If you like that idea, you should pitch it to your congressional representative, and you should pitch this idea all over the internet because it needs a foundation, and maybe one day it can become a reality. But of course, the lawmakers need to, consider it, and they need to, see if it's warranted, see if it would really have a lot of merit. That's the only way I know how to put it. Okay, the second part of the roving judge is I also believe that judges we need a lot of retired judges and this concept's really not mine, this one here. We need a lot of judges who can be at ballparks like the Giants right now are playing the Washington Redskins on Monday Night Football. And I think it is a Giant stadium where they have a retired judge that hears cases of fans that get unruly and they're arrested. So instead of taking them downtown somewhere, sometimes they'll take them to the judge right there at the stadium, and the judge will make decision whether to send them to prison, arrest them, or whatever. We need that kind of judges all over America to handle a lot smaller cases that don't really require a person being sent down to the prison or to even be fingerprinted. We need judges also that can hear cases that are not necessarily in a courtroom. I'm all for that. If I'm at a ball game and I get unruly and they want to send me to a judge there at the ballpark, even though he's a retired judge, I'm fine with that. He says he's got to pay a fine, I'll pay a fine, whatever. But it's better than going downtown and wasting taxpayers' money for all that kind of stuff. And basically, maybe maybe a dollar, 50 cent, whatever off on ticket price could pretty much pay that judge's salary just because he's just there for the ball game. That's it. Then he goes home. And I'm just trying to say that we need to expand our judicial system where we have more judges and more places handling certain things that would be more economically sound and would not require everybody having to go downtown all the time or down to the police station for some of the most pettiest stuff in the world. There's a lot of crimes that are committed that are just petty crimes, and they don't really warrant sending somebody to get fingerprinted and all that, unless it's a felony. And we need to find more economical ways and more faster ways to deal with these things. Remember, we live in a fast food world, and that's what we're used to anyhow. But we're still our judicial system is still very, very slow. And in some cases, it better stay slow because we want to be sure we have the right people. But I'm talking about petty stuff. Now if a person wants to take it to trial, take it to a court, wants it to go downtown, fine. But small things like being rowdy at a ball game or something like that, we just have a retired judge there to handle it. And if that person wants to make a case out of it, then you send them downtown. Anyhow, that's just my idea. But the main concept here is a roving judge. We need judges that can go to the scene of a crime or alleged crime when the police need a warrant to evaluate what's happening there and would know firsthand whether the warrant needs to be written or needs to be signed. That's being issued by the police. It would really help further our judicial system and maybe make things a little bit better. And maybe more crimes can be solved this way. And maybe people who are in peril, and for some reason, and the police can't go in to see if they need help for whatever reason, this could possibly save some lives in the long run. It's just something you have to think about, and you know I'm right. Anyway, thank you for your time, and I hope you like my concept.